Welcome, Cancer. This one's for you. That's you, Cancer. This is Tarot Lumination with your singles mini love relationship report for the end of November, early December. That's how we're doing it now for the time being. That's all we can handle right now. I hope that's enough for you. Basically, this is like help yourself, kind of like buffet type tarot. Stop and start, pause as you need to in order to integrate some of these questions into the reading so you can, in some ways, like interpret and read for yourself too. I can give you a tarot illumination perspective, but it's your reading, okay? These cards are for you. No oracles, no flyers, no jumble, no reversals. Just a very simple story. We're going to make the best of it, like we always do, and do your cross-watching. I know you guys do that. Sun, moon, rising, and even a potential other if you think there's someone out there for you. But this is for singles, okay? So let's hold on. Okay, good. We're good. Sorry, I like a nice tidy deck. Excuse me. So we're going to cut now. And then read for you. Let's see what happens here. This would be the energy that you're radiating. And, you're always radiating energy anyway, including the energy of relationship, which, because of the laws of attraction, does attract or repel accordingly. This would be the energy of another if. There's a lot of what if here. Tarot Illumination is not a fortune teller. We're just dealing with potential energy. So this would be the energy of the relationship itself, should it manifest, okay? Should it kind of gently come into being. And this would be the prospect of the relationship, like the momentum, where would it be going? So there's you, there's the other, potential other, and there's the potential relationship itself. The relationship has its own integrity and identity, all right? Nothing to do with you or the other. It has its own thing. Of course, it's composed of your ingredients, but it has its own integrity. And it's all about building that and owning that and maintaining that like a healthy business. Under here, let's have a look. This is the circumstantial energy, which is like weather. And you're going to make the best of it, okay? Okay. This is the Five of Wands. So Cancer, I think we saw this in some other readings, but this would be an indication that you might be kind of in a vortex of energy right now where there's a lot of shifting and changing going on, where the circumstances are, let's say, in some ways bringing out the very best in you, but also it could feel challenging at the same time. There's no harm going on here. This is literally people engaging and relating with each other, almost like it's fun, as though it's like sport. It's the sheer joy of being a human being, integrating with another and bringing out your best skills, passions, desires, intentions, abilities, and almost like putting them to the test to see who are you, what are you made of. And the only way you can really find that out is in the context of a very deeply profound relationship where you meet each other face on like this. Not so much like that or that or that, but like this, okay? So what are you radiating right now? Okay, okay, the Chariot here. Some people say this is the card of Cancer. If you want to believe that, you can. So this would indicate, my feeling here is that there's no question about it, Cancer. You are determined to get your act together, to, let's say, corral all your forces, all your best gifts, talents, desires, abilities, intentions, goals, the vision, the mission of the new you. Especially since, we've got these two big vortices of energy happening right now. The big Jupiter and Scorpio thing, which is happening in your 5th house of love and relationships. Oh boy, that's a big deal. And also the big Leo North Node journey happening in your 2nd house of values, your worth, your self-worth. So you might be really feeling it like this, like like swirling energy going on inside of you where you're starting to feel like you're coming into your essence, coming into your being, where you are realizing all your strengths and qualities and gifts, and also understanding all your shadows, your mishaps, your misunderstandings, your habits of self-undoing, the shadow self, which if it does not become conscious, ends up owning you. So the more you become an owner of what needs to come to full consciousness, the more ownership and command and control you have over your life, including love and relationships. So this is very good. It's very, you know, it's very strong energy. It might be a little bit intimidating for others. And the others might arrive, get close. They might think, wow, this is someone really cool. I'm very attracted to you, Cancer. Whoa, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe you're more than I can handle. And Cancer is just going, excuse me, I'm just being me. I'm just doing everything I can to be the best version of me. Thank you very much. If you can't handle it, that's your problem. Okay. So let's have a look. What are we looking at here? Oh, so with another, you might be attracting or relating with someone, let's say, because um, with this Jupiter in Scorpio energy, there's a tremendous emphasis on healing. Jupiter itself is very much about healing, the great benefic, and the Scorpio energy is at its highest expression is about deep transformational healing, vibrational healing, energy healing, like deep, deep soul healing. So what could be happening for you, Cancer, is that unwittingly, you, in your great strength and rising capabilities and values and potential and so on, you might actually attract someone who is very potentially deeply broken inside in some way or another, that needs and requires all the love and nurture that is yours by nature, that you just radiate automatically, because that's who you are, Cancer. You are the great nurturer. You are the great caretaker. You are the great earth mother. Doesn't matter whether you're male or female. That Cancerian energy is what it is. The great capacity to care and love and protect and nurture and defend, okay? So that might be exactly what you are attracting. Someone who needs that right now. Someone who might be very damaged or broken or needy in their own way, who might need what you have. And, you know, I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, Cancer, because it's almost like that's what you're made for in the first place. It's almost like people gravitate towards you, Cancer, because you have such abilities to nurture and care and heal and comfort. And so this energy of the broken heart, those of the brokenhearted, those who are in very difficult, awkward situations with matters of the heart, could be very strongly drawn to you because they're seeking healing. They're seeking that love. They're seeking the values that you have, the strength that you have, the ability and capacities that you have. So don't be frightened of this, Cancer. It doesn't mean like, oh gosh, I'm just going to end up with a total basket case. And once I've cured them, they're just going to run away. And all I'm doing is just being a nurse, an on-call triage nurse. And, nobody really loves me. They're just out for what they can get out of me for being a nice, kind person. No, it's not like that, Cancer. It's much more that there's big, monster, huge heart love energy here, but you can see it's also fractured, damaged, and broken, and it needs a lot of TLC, and you're the perfect person. So this person over here, they may not be in your life right now, but you might start attracting that. There might be a lot of people, because there are so many people on Earth who carry this energy either right on the surface or very, very deep down. There are millions of people like this, Cancer, so you might end up attracting your share of those, and they will love you accordingly for that, because they might not have anywhere else to go. You might be the last call, so to speak. Let's have a look at the relationship dynamic itself, in case someone like this shows up. Okay, well, it could be like a new thing. for both parties. In other words, as you are rising up and making this very powerful, determined decision to really come into your true strength, it's almost like it takes you to the very limits of your own evolution, which, that's what it's like for all of us anyway. So, in the context of a budding relationship or relationship dynamic energies that might be coming in on the horizon, let's say, this person or someone like this arrives in your life, then the relationship itself would have a lot of the characteristics of, let's say, really good intentions, almost like novelty and newness and goodness and really wholesome intentions for both parties. It's almost like, you know, as absurd as this looks as a combination from the outside, it could be actually very satisfying for both parties from the inside out in such a way that you, Cancer, get the chance to really rise up into your true strength and your true power. And you, dear other person, whoever you might be, if someone like this shows up, could discover that they've landed in exactly the right place. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not trying to say like, oh no, this is the classic like victim savior thing. It's not like that at all. I'm taking that up to a whole other level. If you go into psychology and social studies and whatever, like a lot of relationships are built on those dynamics of like somebody is needy and someone's a provider. But this is more. This is a much more. This is above and beyond that. This was kind of going to deep soul levels of healing, where it really isn't an issue about whether you're such a great savior and such an awesome Cancerian, and they're so utterly messed up. It's much more like, okay, well, you're a Cancerian, you're a human being too, and you have all these amazing gifts and qualities which make you perfectly qualified, the most qualified person to deal with someone like this. And this could be a very exciting learning experience for both parties. Okay, so it's like mutual appreciation here, where it's above and beyond victim and savior. Okay, it's above and beyond that. It's almost like being like a perfect match for each other, where you can learn so much from each other by being this way without having to fall into those like, you know, classic roles of the victim savior thing. It's more than that, where you understand, okay, we're all victims and we're all saviors, because everybody has that to some extent in relationships, where like in a really loving relationship, we actually do care for each other. We're concerned. We go out of our way, like, hey, honey, I notice you're having a rough day. Is there anything I can do for you? Do you want a foot massage? Or someone else, your other your honey bun says, hey, you know what? I noticed you had a rough day. Can I get you a cup of tea? Or do you want to talk about something? Whatever it is. And that's not being like victim, victim savior. That's just two people who love and care for each other, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's good. That's wholesome. That's a vision plan. That's a mission plan for the future. Very, very simple, with all the best of intentions going forward, okay? Let's have a look. Where does that take you? Okay, well, my feeling is that it exposes, like with the devil energy here, it's an exposure of how, like, we become so bonded and wedded and tied to our pains and sufferings. And when those things become exposed, we get back to the Terra Illumination theme of having to reveal it to heal it. So what can happen? My feeling is that in this potential relationship dynamic, if someone like this shows up for you, dear Cancer, and there is a lot of pain and suffering there, and you get to be the true Cancer that you are, then so be it. It brings where the relationship turns into like an adventure, okay? A true adventure, a learning adventure for you, a learning and growing and healing adventure for them, where in the process you discover the ties that bind. Like how wounded people, they hold on very, very, very tightly to their wounds. They hold on very tightly to their pain and suffering because it's so prominent in their life. It takes a lot of prominence. But it's the releasing of that. It's the releasing of these bonds that allows the healing to occur. And so don't be scared of this card here in this position. It's a big, big wake-up call that A lot of tremendous amount of healing can occur in this type of situation, so long as both parties have the courage to be very, very, let's say, kind and loving with each other, very nurturing and Cancerian, and very, very open about their potential pain and damage and suffering. So you both get to be the most awesome versions of yourself and learn about how we, as human beings, are tied to our frailties and owned by our frailties, owned by our damage, owned by our wounds. And it doesn't have to be that way. We can release ourselves from this, okay? And it might take, time to do that and learn how to do it. But one of the stories about this card is how we do have the choice and the freedom and the liberty and the right to release ourselves from all of this if we want to and gain complete freedom. Okay, so this is just potential. Remember that. Do your thing, Cancer. Cross-watching, all of that, sun, moon, rising, pause, start, rewind, or whatever. Integrate all of this and reinterpret however you want. You, other, relationship, prospects. Okay, all right, bye-bye.